Not anymore. Not ready though. It's definitely ready. Throughout the battle, I was in full control of this fabulous mackerel tuna that can be very tough to land, but I knew the rod would make my job that much easier. The same can be said for fly rods.
Okay, I've got something on, don't know what it is, but it feels quite heavy on this, and this is an 8. And I'm not really used to fishing so heavy, but up here.
By 8, Ian means the 8-weight fly rod. Fly rods are measured according to their power and the line they're designed to cast. The right balance makes landing even hard-fighting trevally much easier. Good one, Marshy.
Today I'm sitting here on the riverbank of the Canning River with a good friend of mine, Dennis Rogers, and we fish this all the time in the mornings and the evenings because we just love catching mullet on fly, but they're one of the hardest things to do. So Dennis, what sort of tips can you give me?
Well, I found the best tip for the mullet, and I've only caught about 4 myself on a fly after about 2 years of trying. So when you finally do get them, you do give a big whoop because they're bloody hard to get. Now I found the best time is when sort of lunchtime, when the heat is on the water,
yeah,
and whatever they're feeding on, like plankton stuff, comes up and they school and they roll and leap. So when they're leaping, it says to me that they're chasing, and that's the best time, or the only time, I've caught them on a fly. I use a size 18 hook, as you do, and sometimes 16, and I throw it right across the school and pull it as fast as I can, and hopefully one of them will make a mistake, and every now and again they do. They make a mistake and you'll hook him.
Okay.
And he'll beat any trout you ever
I bet he will too, because they're quite a nice fish. So what if say we don't catch any, which we don't, but we always have a good laugh doing it. Have you got any sort of secret tips or?
Well, I've got one special one.
Yeah.
Either before or after I do this. I don't suppose you've got one, but
right.
I use this and it never seems to fail.
Oh yeah.
You wouldn't have one of these handy, would you?
Well, actually, I have.
Oh dear.
So,
shall we give it a go?
We'll try and get them out.
Here you go, mullet.
Listen to this.
Sometimes that works, but mostly it don't.
Today we're here in Exmouth to catch one of my favourite fish that I've dreamed about for a lifetime. I'm really excited about this. These fish live in such places as Costa Rica, Mauritius, and also the Caribbean as well. But we're here in Exmouth to catch the mighty billfish. These range from sailfish all the way up to the mighty black marlin. But here in Exmouth they also get the blue and the striped as well. So hopefully, fingers crossed, I can get out there and there's one waiting for me right now.
Once again, we enlisted the services of Pete and Kim from Exmouth Game Fishing Charters, who run the best billfish operation in one of the world's best billfishing areas.
Now, if you can imagine, at the moment we're on about 280 metres down is the canyons. So that's what we're going to try and do, bring the marlin up from there. We're trawling plastics at the moment and we're going to put baits on soon. Now, this is the sort of baits that we use, or that Peter uses. Now that's the biggest garfish I've ever seen in my life. So he reckons that's going to kill the pig today, and someone's definitely got to chew that. I'd even eat that.
On the way to their secret marlin spot, we passed over South Passage and decided to put some sailfish gear out, which is much lighter than what we'd use for marlin. Sails like surface activity, so we ran baits on the outriggers, then an array of teasers such as the witch doctor and birds, which are supposed to look like baitfish breaking up on the surface. Some skippers go nuts with reflective holes and loudspeakers under the water, which certainly is a radical way to catch a radical fish.
He's there, you've got it! Left or right?
Yeah, he's gone. Yeah. I am. One dice.
On the phaser. One's on the back of the
One right there. Here.
Here he is.
He's having a work, man.
Get ready for a jump.
Go for it, Bruce. Okay, Bruce, find
There's three of them with him.
Yeah, there is some. Back up, dude. Worry about your fish.
Play it like you normally do, Bruce. Just gloves, Peter. Inside. Under the tally cabinet there's a pair.
Which one you ladies trying to throw duck in there, please?
Oh, and again out there. No, follow them. There's heaps with them still. Oh,
Now, that had a nice big fish on it, obviously, because it's got a great big hook in it. The sailfish come up, billed it, grabbed it. We free spooled, so he takes it in his mouth, and then he dropped it. That's fishing, so we're going to put another one of these on, and hopefully go again.
While the crew were hard at work rigging up again, Marshy and I thought we'd take advantage of the beautiful food that's provided on board. Surrounded by crays, good company and some dead flat seas, the only problem we had was getting the crew to shoot more than 10 seconds of us before they waded on in.
This lure here, this is caught 6 marlin in one day.
Wow.
No, not really. I was only joking. It's a brand new one.
The skirted lures we used for marlin are called pushers, and they have 2 big hooks buried in the body. They create a big bubble trail or smoke on the surface, and they make releasing marlin easier than when bait fishing. Before strapping the pom into the chair, Pete thought he'd better give him one final lesson with this awesome 60 kilo gear, or we might just lose him over the side.
So Pete, we've got the big gear out today. Now, where do we start, mate?
Right, well, we've got, these are the latest 130 Tiagras from Shimano. We've just got, they haven't caught a fish yet. They're probably the first 130s in WA, and no one's caught a fish on them yet.
Okay.
What we've got running at the moment, we've got big lures out the back. On this rod and reel here, we've got what we call a short